Yo, I've been ready to do this video for a while now. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but hey, we just gonna straight talk about it because that's what I want to talk about today. I'm talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is personally my favorite anime of all time. You know, when I first saw it, I was like, man, I'm not finna watch this shit because look, I was like, I'm not finna watch this because I seen you know that scene where Abdo and Joseph get stuck together? I'm like, bro, I'm not watching this. And then I seen another scene where, who was it? Was it Polnareff when that dude was breathing out that hole and they peed in it? I'm like, bro, what is this? I was so confused. I was like, I don't even want to watch this, bro. I'm not watching this. So I'm like, bro, this is probably some BS. And I said they overrating it. But as soon as I watched it, holy, I give it his credit. I'll give it his credit. Oh my Lord, top tier. And I'll tell you why. One of my favorites. One thing before this video starts, disclaimer: spoiler warning for some things in each part. Spoiler warning for some things in each part. So part one, when I first watched it, it was around like 2019, my freshman year of high school. I was like, bro, it wasn't bad, but it was just boring to me. I know it's setting up the foundation for everything else, but it was like boring to me. But when I look back at it, I appreciate it for a lot more. Cause I was told do not skip that part because it's a key factor. It's not my favorite part though, but I like the nobility of Jonathan, and I'll say I didn't enjoy it, but I was like, it just flew by for me. Jonathan, Dio, Brando. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Dio was wild in that. Killing dads, dogs. Bro, Jonathan had to put bro in his place for a minute, and then he started wilding out again. And Dio was going crazy. Now, part two, that's where it got me hooked. That shit was gas. Joseph Joestar, a young Joseph Joestar, Caesar Sapel, Wamu, AC/DC. You know, Speedwagon was there too, but Lisa, you know, there was a lot of different characters there. And what got me hooked was how charismatic Joseph was. His role, his goofiness, and the whole part of everything was awesome, bro. Top tier. It was one of my favorite parts. Still one of my favorite parts, but I'm not gonna lie, I like all the parts a lot, so it's really hard to like do wishy-washy and all that. But I say I really enjoyed it for what it was, and a lot of it. But and that Caesar scene, bro, oh my god, it hurt me, bro. It hurt a lot of us, but man, that hurt me. I was sitting there, Caesar. The respect they had fighting each other. Is it Joseph and Wamu? I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, then I'll correct myself. But they had a great fight. Cars is crazy. But in like these first three, a lot of these like first three parts, a lot of the characters were super buff. And you definitely notice it. It's different in part 4, but man, part 2 is that stuff, bro. And I can't forget about the intro. Part 3, Jotaro Kujo. You know, okay, he, Mr. Tough Guy himself, but that man was badass to the core. Beating people asses as kids. I don't know, bro. He helped out a lot of people, but bro was a badass from beginning to end in each part he was in. Jotaro is definitely one of my favorite JoJo protagonists. And part 3, the villains was good. Oh my god, the card game was lit. And what I was trying to say, in the game, hey, Jotaro was cheating. Hey, I don't know how he was doing it, but he was cheating. And they were cheating in them games. Hey, Iggy bad as fuck. I don't know what he was on, but Iggy was bad, but he was the GOAT in the end, bro. Iggy, Abdul, Polnareff, old Joseph Kakyoin. My boy never got to enjoy them milfs, man. It's unfortunate, but he never did. You know, so much happened in that part. Hey, Dio was a demon, and he was petty. Every time I think of Dio in part 3, I always think of that scene where he would purposely, he could have killed Polnareff, but Polnareff kept moving up the stairs, right? And he kept moving his ass back down. I'm like, so you're telling me that Dio is that fucking petty to the point where he'll move him down, he'll come down the stairs, move him, and then run back up. Like, what is wrong with you? He stopped time and kept doing that. I was like, bro, he got issues. In that fight with Jotaro and Dio, legendary. Bro, stop this heart. I know y'all seen that meme where you dare approach me. I was like, that's been a meme for everything now. But that whole part 3 was awesome, bro. I know I'm not explaining in full details because I really just want to do a full video on them. So I probably most likely will. But that's just the one part. Part 4. One of my personal favorite parts. I think it's one of the best parts after part 7. But it's my personal favorite. It's tied with part 7. But Josuke Hishikate Gata. I think I said it right this time. But man, I be butchering them last names. And Koichi, Okuyasu, Rohan, the drippiest character in all of JoJo. Older Jotaro. They pulled up all nice. Bro, Morio was a very, very nice place, bro. It was amazing from the jump. One of my favorite like scenes aesthetically, the music. Let the joy of love get you higher. I'm not. But there was so many good scenes in there, so many good like. Cause I watched the anime for the first 5 parts, but when Josuke flew over the bike, when Jotaro beat up what's his name? Kira. Bro, Kira was that guy though. Kira was that guy. Like, I don't know how they did it, but they really made me love him. If you watch one of my previous videos about animes that let me feel empty in a good way, then you'll hear about Kira in that video too. But I was like, it was fun, bro. Part 4 was one of those ones where it was like, man, it really got to end, huh? That fight between Josuke and Kira was legendary. I like that fight between Josuke and I'm mad that I can't remember his name, but it's the dude that had the guitar, an electric guitar, and was following him everywhere. That one where Josuke and the alien was in there, and they were going back and forth. Okuyasu's brother, Okuyasu's dad, man, that was tough. He had it rough. There was so many good characters in there. Koichi is still one of my favorite characters in there. Rohan was wild when he got his ass rocked. I can't wait to get into more detail about this. But part 4 was really one of my favorite parts of all time. Part 5. Got Giorno in there. Of course, my favorite character, Bruno Bucciarati. My personal favorite JoBro of all. Mista. I love Mista. Narancia. Fugo. Abakio. That boy Abakio was wilding on Giorno when they first started. But Giorno was a beast. His stand ability is crazy. Golden experience. I ain't even like really talked about other people's stands. But bro, I always think of that scene where didn't Abakio piss in tea or whatever, and bro drunk it, but he had switched his teeth to, I think it was jellyfish stuff or whatever. I don't know how you do that, but that golden experience is crazy. Hey, I can go on a whole tirade about Bruno right now. Why he's my favorite character. He's the mom of the group. He's whatever. But Bruno was that guy, bro. All the way from beginning to the end. Bruno was my favorite character in that part alone. I was like, I love Bruno a lot, bro. And every time he got his screen time, bro, the wheel of him. Nobody ever really knows, but you can make two hypotheticals. Either Giorno saved his life from dying, or Bruno had the will to live. I'd like to go with the second one because Bruno is a badass dude to the end, bro. Still one of my favorite characters. And that Abakio scene, look, I was sitting there. I already knew it was coming, but because I got spoiled by it a little bit, but it didn't really affect me that much. But I was sitting there, like laying there, just watching it, and I felt tears starting to come on my eyes. I said, I rarely had an anime ever do that to me, ever. I think that was one of the first times I've ever cried at a show. I was like, I wasn't crying, like tears just started coming out my eyes because how beautiful the scene was, the music, Narancia falling on the ground. Oh my god, that scene was like beautiful from beginning to end. Like I just felt so bad watching that. I was like, damn. I was sitting there like, fuck. I was like, Diablo really that one. And I ain't even get into all the situation with the other group. Madman Ritto almost won. He really almost won. Part 5 was that shit. It was that shit, bro. I highly recommend anybody watch it. Part 6. I feel like part 6 is kind of hated by a lot of people. Or it's either like you either hate it or love it. The underdog's on top. I'm gonna shout another song. But I love that part. And I feel like I know people feel like it's one of the worst parts, but to me, I really like it a lot. Because Jolene, bro, Jolene is one of the most badass characters ever. Weather, oh my god, he's so goated. Foo Fighters was goated to the end, bro. I read the manga for this. This is the first manga I read. I said I had to read something, and it had to be my favorite. So my favorite series of all time. So I went and go ahead and read it. I like to read it with the color stuff on it. So that's just me personally, though. I enjoyed it a lot. It was awesome. And I swear, Jolene had some of the cleanest fights in there. I don't know how the anime did it, but bro, Jolene had some of the best fights I've seen in that damn manga, bro, or read in that manga. She was in there cleaning house. We can't forget about Imperio. He literally beat Poochie. He literally beat Poochie. You know what I mean? He was that guy for real. I mean, he wasn't that guy for real. Poochie was that guy for real. Bro had like 2 or 3 stands. He was wilding. He messed up Jotaro and everything. All because Dio came up to him in his chill state. I said, dang. And we can't even forget about Dio offspring. All them kids he had. I said, bro, that's wild. I said, part 6 is a really good part. And I like how each setting takes place in a different place. Like, this was set in a prison. Prison, bro. They were boxing, though. They were really boxing. They were in Florida, right? I was like, this is lit. Said, it was cool. I enjoyed it. I'd highly recommend you read it or watch it since the anime is out there. All right. This the one right here. Part 7. One of the most goated parts of, like, that's probably peak JoJo's. But part 7 was it right there. Johnny Joestar. Gyro Zeppeli. That's how I say his last name. But that was a goated journey between these two men. Going after Funny Valentine, the best protagonist in the series. If we just talking about like one of the greatest protagonists, I think he's the greatest protagonist in the series. He's not my favorite, but he's one of the greatest. And I feel like That journey of them, Johnny wanting to walk, bro. Johnny had the will to do anything, bro. He was so desperate to do anything. It was like, man, that boy Johnny was really that guy, bro. Zyro was that guy. He thought he was really teaching Johnny everything he knew. It felt like a mentor type of relationship with those two. It was like they were really together doing everything. Johnny followed him around. He was learning how to walk, his nails, his stand evolved. Johnny Joestar, one of the best shooters. I still have to reread part 6 and part 7 because I do it like every year. I don't know why I do it, but I like to do it every year. I've been doing it since like 2019, so ever since I started reading them. I say it was a hell of a journey. I can't wait to talk about it more in a future video. But Diego Brando, he would definitely be talked about in this future video about a full part 7 thing. I'm doing a full video on each part. Maybe not part 1. I might just do part 1 and part 2 together, but those two, yes. That part 7 was peak. Alright, I'm not gonna really talk about part 8 because I haven't finished it yet. I plan on just reading it soon. But I like reading it with color, so I've been very picky about that. That's just me though. I know I'm missing out on some good stuff, but I do like Josuke over there. Since they restarted that universe after part 6, I ain't even talk about that in my part 7 part like of the video. But the portion was overall though, JoJo is one of my favorite series because the characters, the journey you go on. It's not guaranteed that your favorite character, like your favorite side character, is gonna live in the show. So you just gotta do what you gotta do, bro, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. It's like the emotions, how they make you feel. JoJo was one of my favorite. I judged it off of the scenes I've seen, but I gave it a chance, and I try to recommend it to anybody that has not seen it yet. I know it's hard for people to get into part 1. It was hard for me to get into part 1 personally, but I tell you, it's really worth it after you get past part 1. I know if you watching this video right now and you went to the spoilers and had the spoilers hit you, you are one crazy dude, because you know you didn't really have to do that, right? You know you could just click off the video, right? But other than that, bro, thanks for watching the video. Peace.